Good morning. It's year 47. Welcome to the channel. My name is Alan. And again, if you like what you see here, I would love to get a like and subscribe, a thumbs up on the video. That would be awesome. Today is day 127. And today's going to be a little quick, but effective. So last night I was not good about my sleep. As it goes in the days of Netflix being super available, I was watching of all things, Korean drama, and those things really suck you in. And even at this point, my wife had already watched it a few times, and so I thought, well, then I'll just kind of passively watch it, but got sucked in. And before I knew it, it was 1:30 in the morning. Not a great start to my day. On carnivore, I have found that I can do better. My sleep is more effective for the amount I get. So if I sleep, I'm not recommending this, by the way. I'm just saying my personal felt effectiveness. If I sleep about 5 hours and I've eaten properly and I get up on my own without an alarm, I feel good. I don't feel like superhuman, but I feel good. I don't feel awful. Before, that would not be the case. I would sleep at 1 o'clock and wake up at 6:30 to start the day with the kids, and that would just be really challenging. However, not a good habit. You don't sleep properly, all your hormones are screwed up. You're going to be hungrier than you feel you ought to be. You're not going to eat just to the way that you ought to be eating. And so, again, sleep is the proper basis. So what's the point of what I'm talking about here? Again, when it comes to sleep, make sure that you have the proper boundaries around sleep. Things like when it's time to go to bed, set a regular bedtime. Get to bed around the time where you're going to have at least 7 to 7.5 hours of sleep at minimum. So for me, since I got to get up at 6:30 or so, really I should be in bed by 11. Keep phone usage to an absolute minimum. Some folks are pretty draconian about this. I can see why. I fall asleep pretty easily because I'm just exhausted by the end of the day when it's time to sleep, because that's what should happen when you've had a full day. But yeah, try to avoid blue light as much as possible. Avoid eating and drinking close to bedtime, because if you eat and drink close to bedtime, you are more likely to have to go to the bathroom after you go to sleep. You'll wake up in the middle of the night, and obviously that disrupts your sleep. So I would say, if you're about to go to sleep at 11 o'clock, no drinking after 9. And lastly, just boundaries around other things. So for the Netflix thing, this is possibly the hardest one, I think, for a lot of people, because especially in our day and age, it's, oh boy, I'm about to age myself, but date myself. But back in the day, TV was done, like, again, I'm 47. And because our TVs effectively ended programming the meaningful stuff, except for maybe late night. I mean, that was effectively all that was on TV. I guess cable counts, but as a kid, I didn't have cable. Yeah, crazy, right? But most of the time, that the only things that would be on late at night would be, and now I'm thinking, if I was an adult, like in my 30s and 40s, like back then in the 90s and the 2000s, late night TV effectively was all you could watch, really, at the end of the day, particularly if you didn't have cable. So you just went to bed like a normal human being should. But now with the onset of on-demand TV, you're watching pretty much anything that you want. You could be up all hours of the day consuming content, and that's not good. So it's even harder now in our day and age to have proper boundaries around sleep, and ensuring that when we're exposed to content like that can keep us hooked for hours on end. I'm not sure what a great, I mean, to be honest, I didn't think a whole ton about this. I was just kind of testifying to the fact that I watched Korean dramas late. So I don't have a great suggestion, and if you have a suggestion in the comments, I would love to have it. I presume there are possibilities around technology, around locking your TV so it's not able to be up around, or rather not usable or whatnot. But since our devices are so ubiquitous, that also requires some discipline and know-how and technology to actually do that. I don't know that personally myself. I assume it's out there and I assume it's possible. But that sort of discipline has to be applied almost ubiquitously across the entirety of your household, across your devices, across your computing and technology. I think at the end of the day, there just has to be a certain amount of willpower and discipline, and I don't think there's any real way around it other than the sort of technological boundaries that I just discussed, where you say, okay, after this time, we get rid of all the stuff that prevents us from sleeping properly, and we just go to bed. Also, here's the thing too. Going to bed early prevents some of you and some of us, it used to happen to me, but definitely happened to me a little bit, but definitely for some of you, getting to bed early or getting to bed at the right time prevents you from late night snacking. And we all know that late night snacking has been a big cause of some of us just either weight stalling or gaining back weight. Because really, at the end of the day, if you're thinking about if we should be eating properly, we're not supposed to be eating late at night. We're supposed to be sleeping. That's what we're designed to do. I don't think anybody back in the day, when they were busy hunting animals and going to make sure that they were building stuff, that at nighttime they were like literally eating into the night because they had nothing else to do. At night, people were going to be tired from a day's work and they were just going to fall asleep, as they normally should, as our circadian rhythms will dictate. Anyway, that's it. Make sure that you get your sleep. Try to avoid and put some healthy boundaries around dramas and Netflix, because that sort of stuff will suck you in. Again, if you liked the video and found this useful, please like, subscribe, give it a thumbs up so the algorithm sees it. And again, this is year 47. Don't watch too much Netflix at home, because that will give you a little bit towards the road, towards the change that is possible in your life. Cheers. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.